morning children. Today we are going to discuss 11th class biology, the chapter number 4, Animal Kingdom. Now in this chapter we are going to discuss the different phylum, characteristic features of the different phylum and how they are classified one by one. Okay. Now we are going to discuss with the basis of classification. Basis of classification. Number one, the arrangements of the cells, then body symmetry and nature of coelom and the pattern of systems. Clear? Okay, now levels of organization. They are classified into 4 types. Number one is the cellular level of organization. Second, the tissue level of organization. Fourth one, organ level of organization. Then the fifth one, the organ system level of organization. Now first one, the cellular level of organization means the single cell perform all the functions in unicellular organisms. Okay, the organisms comes under the porifera. The next one, the organ level of organization. Suppose if you take a human body, different organs we have. Okay, suppose if you take heart. Heart pump the blood and distribute the blood to the different parts of the body. Okay, an example, platyhelminthes to the higher quadrant. Okay, next, the organ system level of organization, which can be observed in Annelida to Echinodermata and the chordates and the chordates. Different organ systems required to perform a body functions. Example, digestive system, circulatory system, excretory system, okay, etc. Okay, suppose we go for a circulatory system, means heart transport the blood to the different parts of the body in different organisms. They are classified into 2 types. One is a open type. One is open type. The blood is pumped out of the heart and tissues are directly bathed in it. This is the open type of circulatory system. Suppose we go for the lower organisms. Second one, there is a closed type of circulatory system. Blood is circulated through the series of blood vessels to the body cells. This can be observed in the higher organisms like vertebrates and all. Next, that is the patterns of organization. This is classified into different types. Okay, asymmetry, then bilateral symmetry and radial symmetry. Suppose we go for asymmetry, this is seen in the lower organisms like amoeba. It is a shapeless organisms. When any plane that passes through a center does not divide them into equal halves. Now second one, bilateral symmetry. This can be observed in arthropoda and human beings or insects. Suppose we go for the body divided along sagittal plane into 2 mirror images. Okay, divides bilateral organisms into right and left halves. This is called bilateral symmetry. Example, insects and the human body. Second one, that is the radial symmetry, that is the coelomates. Coelomates means organisms having body cavity. When any plane passing through the central axis of the body divides the organisms into 2 halves. The best example is echinoderms, that is starfish. Okay. The next basis of classification, okay, on the basis of the embryonic layer formed in the organism body. Okay. Number one, that is the diploblastic organisms. The organism body or internal organ structure made up of 2 tissue layers. The cells are organized into tissues in most animal phyla. Clear? Body parts are organized into layers derived from two embryonic tissue layers. Two embryonic tissue layers, that is the ectoderm and the endoderm. Okay, this can be seen in these coelentrates. Okay, then diploblastic and triploblastic animals. Okay, suppose these are the structure we can see. Okay, the first one, that is the ectoderm layer source. Second one, the mesoderm layer source, and the third one, that is the endoderm layer source. The yellow color and the red color and the blue color shows the embryonic layers. Okay. Now let us go to the triploblastic structures. Okay, here tissue derived from the embryonical layers. Three embryonic layers. The ectoderm, that is the outer layer. Endoderm lines the outer surface to the inner gut. Then mesoderm, it is present in the middle, that is the third layer between ectoderm and the endoderm. Means triploblastic organisms, they have the body structures and organs they made from the three embryonic layers: ectoderm, mesoderm and the endoderm. Example, platy to the chordates. Platy elements to the chordates. Now let us go to the coelom, means a cavity. Coelom means cavity. They are classified into acoelomates, pseudocoelomates and the coelomates. Okay, suppose we go for acoelomates, means A represents there is a lack of true body cavity, A, and they have a solid body and no cavity between the digestive tract and outer body wall. Example, platyhelminthes. Example, platyhelminthes. This is the structure to show the coelomic cavity. Okay, next the coelom. Okay, true body cavity, fluid filled. Coelom, a true cavity will be there. Then bodies or structure or organ having a fluid filled structures lined by a mesoderm. Derived epithelium, example, annula to chordata. Means in coelom, okay, true cavity will be present. Next, pseudocoelomates. Pseudocoelomates. Sometimes cavity appears and disappears. Means no true coelom as the mesoderm is present, scattered between the ectoderm and the endoderm. Example, Aschelminthes. Aschelminth means around worms. Okay. Now another characteristic features based on classification, that is segmentations. Metameric segmentations means external and internal divisions of the body into segmented with a serial repetition of at least some organs means circular ring-like structures, externally and internally segmented. Example, earthworm, the best, that is the annelids. Okay, the next characteristic features, that is notochord. Notochord is a mesodermally derived rod-like structures formed on the dorsal side during embryonic development of the organisms. Now this is the structure to show the notochord appears. Clear? Clear now? Next, different phylum having different characteristic features. Okay, the organs are classified into mainly two types or two groups. One is the non-chordate, another one is the chordate. Okay, earlier we are calling invertebrates and the vertebrates. Now we are calling non-chordates and the chordates. Now the first phylum, that is the Porifera. Pore means they have a hole in their body. They are totally marine. Okay, they have a asymmetrical body structures and they have cellular level of organization and presence of water canal system, and they have a choanocytes are present, and the body is made up of calcareous spicules. the male and female sexual organs or sex structures. Then internal fertilization and indirect development, intracellular digestion, intracellular digestion. These are the characteristic features of the porifera. Then example cycon and the spongilla. Now these are the structures. We can notice spongilla, euspongia and cycon, they are totally marine. Now second group of the organism, coelenterate. Okay, coelenterate, they have a true coelom in their body structures. Okay, now there are certain features. One is the radial symmetry, already we discussed it. Second one, the presence of cnidoblast for anchorage, and they have a tissue level of organizations. Then single opening called hypostome is present in the organism body. Then the alteration of generations, and the digestion is extracellular. Then example Physalia, then Penna, Tula. Like this, many coelenterate organisms are there. Even Hydra is also comes under this. Okay, these are the pictures. Okay, that is Mindrina and Gorgonia, then Pennatula, that is the sea fan, Physalia, that is the Portuguese fan of war, and Gorgonia, okay, sea fan, like these structures comes under this. Next, Ctenophora. Ctenophora is a radial symmetry, but in larval stage they are in bilateral. Okay, then there is a diploblastic, that is a tissue level of organization. Then it is covered by 8 plates, that is 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates. Okay, then extracellular and intracellular digestion, and it is a hermaphrodite, already we discussed. Then bioluminescence. Bioluminescence means the organisms which emit the light from their body in the water. Okay, that is called bioluminescence. Then external fertilization with indirect development. Example, there is a Ctenoplana and Plurobranchia.